Well, we're now going to continue with another diabetes-related device. And we've actually got our very own diabetic here, right, who, in fact, uses one of these devices, an insulin pump. Claire Pesterfield from Cambridge.
Okay, guys, hands up. Who has ever had an injection before? Okay, cool. Was it good? Yeah. Okay. Imagine doing that 7 times a day. Okay. Imagine doing a blood test 4 times a day as well. Okay. Then, every time you eat something, well, you have to work out how much carbohydrate is in that food. Okay. You've got to work out what your carbohydrate ratio is, divide it by that, add on a correction factor, calculate insulin offset, okay, and all of your insulin on board. Have I confused you already? No? No? Oh, I might test you in a bit then. Right. Is there a better option for people with type 1 diabetes other than injecting themselves 4 times a day blood tests? Yes, there is. Excellent, so you're awake already. It is the insulin pump, okay? And these are some of the people that have embraced this technology. Who's seen War Horse, the movie that was out recently? Okay, the lead actor in there that plays Albert, the farm boy, he's got type 1 diabetes and uses an insulin pump. Halle Berry, who plays Storm in X-Men, she uses an insulin pump. I don't know where she's got it in that costume, but she is wearing it. I use an insulin pump, okay? And Steve Redgrave, okay, 5 gold medals at the Olympics, okay, he uses one too. Okay, but how did we used to treat diabetes before we had these insulin pumps with these injections? Well, before insulin was found, we used to have a diet of thrice boiled cabbage soup 4 times a day. Who likes cabbage? Not many. Can you imagine sharing a classroom with someone eating that much cabbage every day? I don't know about their quality of life, but what about yours? Not good. So we found insulin and we had to inject it. And we used it by using things like this little crossbow thing that would fire the needle into us. We used glass syringes where we had to resharpen the needle each time we used it. Okay? We then went on to these plastic syringes. Okay? But you still have to inject. And then we moved to these posh little pen devices that, again, you still have to inject yourself up to 7 times a day. Not good. So we moved to insulin pumps. And look at how technology has moved on. This was in the 1970s. Not very mobile. Okay, you heard Ralph talking about someone walking behind with a defib, okay, behind you. This is 4 times the size of that. Okay, you couldn't even fit that in the toilet, could you? Okay. You then move on to a practical insulin pump, this one, okay, which was a little bit big still. And today, we've moved on to this system. You've got your insulin pump here, with your insulin in here, and it's pumping little amounts of insulin all the time through this little port, okay? And this little device here is a glucose sensor, and that is monitoring my blood glucose level, and it zaps that across to my pump, and my pump alarms, okay, if my blood glucose level goes too high or too low. Just to prove it, I need a quick volunteer, preferably someone not at the back. Excellent. Right, what I need you to do, I need you to press the button that says ESC and shout out the number very loudly that comes on the screen. 3.8. 3.8. Okay. That's my blood glucose level, which means I need to go and eat something in a minute quite quickly. Okay. Now, my pump will alarm, okay, to tell me my blood glucose has dropped to a dangerous level. So I now know I've got to go and do something about it. Better have that back before you go and sell it on eBay. 3,000 quid for one of these, okay? And another 1,500 quid a year just to make it work. Scary, huh? So the funky bit. Okay, you've seen this? It is made up of about, should I come back, of about, we think, 300 parts, okay, just in this little piece of kit, okay? It has a tiny brain, a computer inside that does all the working out for me, so I don't have to think about my diabetes, which means I can get on with normal daily life. Anyone with type 1 diabetes can use it if you get trained to do it. And an insulin pump can change someone's life. Without this, I would be dead. So what does it mean for you guys if you have one? It means parents nag less. Priceless. Okay? My mum still rings me up every week to check I'm alive. It used to be every day before I got one of these. My quality of life has gone up hugely. I can eat what I want when I want to. It reduces my risk of all those complications we've already heard about. Okay? Blindness, kidney failure, limb amputation, heart disease and stroke. Without me and without poor control, okay, these guys are in business. Once I've got one of these on board, I can make this lot redundant. Fantastic stuff. But what it can also do is just give me a normal life to be like everyone else, to do what everyone else wants to do. I can go to parties, I can drink alcohol, I can dance all night, although very badly. I can go and play sport, and I can go and travel around the world. Something would never have been thought of before having one of these. There you go, thank you.
On the one hand, you've got the clever chemistry and the clever electronics associated with the sensor, right? There's then the radio link across to the pump. That pump, right, it's built out of 300 tiny little parts. Think about the kinds of microengineering that go into that. I mean, this is an amazing thing. You know, the first one that was made, as you can see, was the size of a fridge, right? And now it's that sort of size. It's a remarkable, remarkable transformation. And of course, what it does is it gives you tremendous freedom to go out and live your life. Now, the interesting thing is that the rest of us all have this sort of self-regulating system involving our own natural production of insulin. And what she's got is this really cunning brain-assisted pump which can help her along.